Ritigliano on the other sideline. And of course, Ritigliano may not have that good a record, but he's after the Dallas Cowboys today.
Ready for the kickoff. The Cowboys to return. The Browns in their brown uniforms with the orange and white trim. And we're set from Irving, Texas. Steve Cox. And back comes Ron Fellows to the 28-yard line. Fellows from the University of Missouri, tackled by Curtis Weathers of the Browns. So on the field, the Cowboys with Danny White at quarterback. He has Tony Dorsett, Ron Springs as running backs. The receivers, Tony Hill, Landry lauding Hill for his play both in the preseason, regular season, the all-time pass catcher, Cowboy history. Drew Pearson, the tight end, Doug Crosby's won the starting job over Billy Joe Dupree. Donovan, Richards, Rafferty, Peterson, and Cooper, the offensive line. First down at the 28-yard line. On the quick out, and it's complete to Pearson for short yardage at the 33-yard line. Second down and 5. 48, Lawrence Johnson in on the tackle for Cleveland. Defensively, Harris and Bradley and Robinson, the front three for the Browns. They're linebackers, and they feel that this is one of the strengths of the Cleveland club. Banks from Cousineau, we talked about them, leading tackler the last 5 years. Ambrose in the middle along with Bill Cower. Cornerbacks are Johnson and Dixon, with Burrell and the veteran Clarence Scott at safety. Second down and 5. Each club with 2 wins and a loss coming into this Thanksgiving Day. Ron Springs across the 35, and it appears to be close to a first down near the 38-yard line before number 50, Tom Cousineau, can make the tackle for Cleveland.
Cleveland Browns were talking about the difficulty they had getting ready for this game. Not so much a matter of time, which was hard enough in itself, but they also had rain and sleet and a very muddy field to practice on. Coach Ritigliano not making any excuses for his team. They're out here. They feel they have a fair shot at these Dallas Cowboys.
It's short of the first down by less than a yard. Third down, tight formation for Dallas. That's a good conversion rate, over 50% for the Cowboys. In behind Cosby, and they get the first down at the 40. Ron Springs, the ball carrier.
Dick, one of the unusual things that we will see on defense for these Cleveland Browns today is Chip Banks going down from his linebacking position to a down position in pass rushing situations. Actually moves in a defensive end. And although he's only 230, 235 pounds, he's quick enough and strong enough to give the big defense, our offensive tackles, a run for their money.
Banks wears number 56 and leads the Browns with 3 sacks in their first 3 games. First down at the 40. Play action. White to Hill. Out of bounds. Complete at the 47 of the Browns.
Danny White passing again on first down. 2 first down situations, 2 passes. 13 yards on the pickup by White as he fakes to Dorsett into the line and picks out Tony the Thrill Hill. And what a fine pass. Hill had gotten himself open on the far side, and the gap in that zone carried it out of bounds for the first down.
Hill from Stanford, the leading receiver for the Cowboys. That is his 16th catch. The Browns have not allowed a touchdown in the first half thus far in 3 games. Here comes Dorsett. 40. And to the 35, and a first down for Tony Dorsett.
Dorsett breaking outside, but what a great block by Drew Hill, or by Tony Hill, number 80. He just leveled the linebacker coming out to give Dorsett room to make that fine run. Quick look at it for yourselves. You'll see Hill come all the way across the field. You're looking at him there. Now watch the shot he'll give right here. That's Clarence Scott, number 22. He just leveled it.
First down, Cowboys. With the opening kickoff, they're to the Cleveland 35-yard line. Springs. 5. He gets 8 yards before Cousineau can drag him down. 2 former Buckeyes involved in that contact.
We talked about the new faces in this lineup, Cousineau and Banks. You get a chance to see number 50, Cousineau, right there, head-to-head. Howard Richards, the man who is banging on him. There comes Banks in from the outside.
So on 2nd and 2 at the Cleveland 27, White sends his 2 wide receivers, Pearson and Hill, to the right. Springs to the left, and Dorsett gets the first down. An average back would have been tackled for a 3-yard loss. Dorsett turns it into a 4-yard gain and a first down.
Tony Dorsett nursing a sore toe. He has the equivalent of what they call a turf toe. It's from an old injury. Matter of fact, he dropped a mirror on his foot, of all things. But it has given him some fits. Did not practice the early part of the week, but still with such incredible acceleration. I don't think he knows how fast he can run.
Well, he makes you tackle there, as you saw on that replay. Drew Pearson to the right, Hill to the left. First down at the 23 of the Browns. First possession of the game, and White looking for 6. Almost intercepted by Lawrence Johnson, who has Cleveland's 2 interceptions this year. Good reaction to the ball by Johnson.
Ron Bolton, the normal corner that you've seen for years on the left side of that Cleveland defense, has been replaced by Lawrence Johnson. And Johnson here showing fine speed as he makes up the difference to knock that ball away from Drew Hill. Quick look inside at the kind of protection that Danny White had. Quick pass, but plenty of time, and as you said, Dick, just an excellent defensive play.
Drew Pearson, who has a touchdown in each of the first 3 Dallas games and looking for 4 for 4, denied by Johnson. 2nd and 10, Dorsett to the 15-yard line. A gain of 7 more before Hanford Dixon, number 29, the cornerback from Southern Mississippi, can make the stop.
See Drew Pearson, number 88, talking to Coach Landry. He'll carry the play onto the field, give it to Danny White. White, of course, will call a play, and they'll go from there.
Crowd of 65,000 at the sellout, but there are a lot of empty seats at Texas Stadium. They had over 13,000 no-shows for their game on Sunday as they beat Tampa Bay, and at the moment there are at least that many empty seats today. 3rd down and 2. A long 2. First shotgun for White. On the blitz, and he can't find Dorsett, and that was Chip Banks, and how quickly Banks, that rookie linebacker, was on top of White and forced him to throw prematurely, and that stops the Dallas drive. Field goal unit comes on.
Quick look at Danny White. Now watch from the outside of your picture, blitzing to the inside with incredible speed, and that's the kind of thing that Chip Banks can do for that Cleveland defense. He was on top of Danny White before he had a chance to get that football away.
A 32-yard field goal attempt by Rafael Septien. He is 1 for 3 this year. All-Pro last season. Call it 33 yards. And it is no good. He misses to the right side. So the Cowboys, with an impressive drive, they are stopped inside the Cleveland 20, and then Septien misses wide to the right. The drive lasted nearly 5 minutes with no score. Bryson on the right side. Second and 8. Pruitt on his first carry, and the big fullback is out to about the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Defensively, Dallas Cowboys, that flex defense, one of the few 4-man defensive lines left. Jones, Dutton, White, and Martin, all familiar household names, with Hegman, Brunig, and Brown. Some changes at linebacker. D.D. Lewis gone, retired. Everson Walls, Dennis Thurman, Barnes, and Downs. 3 free agents and an 11th round draft pick are the 4 deep men for Dallas. Walls, of course, led the NFL as a rookie in interceptions with 11 last year. 3rd down, Pruitt doesn't make it. Anthony Dickerson, 51, was the man who invaded the backfield, slowed down Pruitt, and then there were plenty of white shirts to help out.
The great strength of this Dallas team, of course, is against the running game. And if you're going to beat them, you have to throw the ball. You have to be able to throw it on 1st and 10. You have to throw it on 2nd and medium yardage and 3rd and short.
Ron Fellows will be at the other end as Steve Cox with a 38.5-yard average. Will kick to Fellows, who stands at the 28. Fellows tackled as he catches the ball at the 30-yard line. Excellent coverage. Number 23 for the Cleveland Browns, Mark Kofensis. He's a rookie from the University of Hawaii, home up in the state of Washington. A 42-yard punt and no return. Timeout here in Irving, Texas, midway through the first quarter. No score.
When a business grows, it often grows out of control.
Back in Irving, Texas, where there is no score. Cleveland, the leader overall in this series. Most of their wins coming early on in the 60s, and were the opponents of the Cowboys in the very first Thanksgiving Day game hosted by Dallas. This is their 15th now. Dallas won that first game and are favored to win today. Fumble by White, and he's covered immediately by Chip Banks, and Banks was in on the quarterback once again. The rookie from Southern California, an All-American, led the Trojans in tackles as a junior and a senior, and was the third player picked in last spring's draft behind Ken Sims and Johnny Cooks.
They tell me that he drew the biggest pair of shoulder pads ever issued by the Cleveland Browns. What a build. And he can run.
He covers a lot of great names that had great upper bodies. Second down and long. A little reverse to Springs. 30. And he's to the 33-yard line. Number 51, Eddie Johnson, could not make the tackle. Tom Cousineau ranging laterally, and that is one of his many strengths, his ability to get to the ball carrier on the sidelines to make the tackle.
Cousineau, a very dedicated player. In fact, they say he brings his lunch out there. He spends an awful lot of time with the films, preparing himself. Outstanding player in the Canadian League for 3 years, and they did. I asked one of the players where Cousineau was. They said, look for a guy with a big bulge in his back pocket.
Yes, he's been paid well. Rutigliano takes out 4 men and puts 4 speedier linebackers and defensive backs on a pass situation. 3rd and 7. White, incomplete, looking for Dorsett, and he one-hopped him at the 40-yard line. So the fans grumble a bit here in Texas as the punting team comes on.
Chance to watch Tony Dorsett doing something else that he does very well, running a pass pattern. He'll go down, make a little inside move right there, and drive outside. Judson Flint, number 20, the man who's on top of him. But Danny White just didn't have enough time. It was Banks again who had his hand in Danny White's face.
Again, the Browns have not allowed a touchdown in the first half yet this year, and only 3 points total in the first 2 quarters. Danny White, averaging 41.7, hits a beauty. That's rookie Dwight Walker watching it kick out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Dwight Walker from Nicholls State, the return man. White, not only a fine quarterback, but an outstanding kicker. Cleveland will start from the 19-yard line when we return. 7 minutes and 13 seconds remaining, first quarter.
Be at work.
Interception for a touchdown. Beat the Lions today, 13-6. We have no score midway through the first quarter. Cleveland from its 19. Good play action. Strike to Newsome. What a catch at the 37-yard line by Ozzie Newsome of Alabama.
An 18-yard reception by Ozzie Newsome, number 82. There were 3 Dallas Cowboys on Newsome. Watch the pass develop. Newsome will be breaking to the outside on the left-hand side of your screen. There you see the 3 Cowboys, and Newsome takes a perfectly thrown ball, but it had to be out in front of him. If it had been behind, there was a chance for an interception. Bob Brunig, Michael Downs, and Mike Hegman, the 3 defenders for the Cowboys.
What a player. Newsome, in 4 years in Cleveland, he's caught 213 passes. From the 37. Quick pass to Charles White, who scrambles away to the 40-yard line. And White, almost maintaining his balance, had some running room downfield. Another former All-American from Southern California, the 1979 Heisman Award winner. We have 2 Heismans pitted against each other today. Dorsett, who won it 3 years prior to White,
We talked about Randy White. There he is. Watch him now working on the offensive guard, Robert Jackson. Coming quickly out of his stance. He's going to try and put the squeeze on the quarterback here. Jackson doing a good job there of holding him out, really banging at him.
Back to live action. Sipe going long to Feature, but way off the mark. Feature had the inside taken away by Dennis Thurman, the Cowboy cornerback, and so Sipe had only one choice, to keep it away from the defense, and Feature wasn't looking for it there.
This is the kind of situation that Sam Rutigliano wanted to avoid. It's 3rd and long. The Cowboys will use a nickel defense. They'll run 5, 6 defensive backs into the game, and of course with that big defensive line, with the problems we described to you, they can really wreak havoc on Brian Sipe. He needs time to throw that football.
Marty Schottenheimer talking to his defensive crew as they anticipate their return to the game. 3rd down and 7 from the 40. Full blitz and incomplete. Intended for Feature as Dennis Thurman. It appeared that both cornerbacks were coming on the blitz, and Sipe slow getting up as Thurman got to him just as he released the ball.
Sipe is finally getting off the ground, but he took a helmet right in the breadbasket as Thurman just leaped through the air and hit him. You get an idea why these quarterbacks come out of a Sunday ball game or a Thursday game in this case with some real aches and pains. You won't see the finale of that hit, but you get the general idea.
Merlin out of the shotgun. That's a new wrinkle for the Cleveland Browns.
Certainly is. It's something they haven't done before, and if Sipe has his way, maybe they won't do it again.
Bellows inside his 20. Steve Cox with a beautiful high kick. Bellows at the 18. 25. To the 32-yard line. A courageous and successful return by Ron Fellows. Mike Whitwell, a rookie from Texas A&M. Bill Jackson, a rookie from North Carolina, collaborated on the tackle. Timeout. 5:27 left, first quarter. He's to the 40-yard line. An 8-yard gain before Curtis Weathers, number 55, can make the hit.
Excellent block by Springs on the play. Ron leading the play around the left side of that defense. And you get an idea why Landry has built this offense around Tony Dorsett. You see Springs working right there on number 29 on the outside, Hanford Dixon. Dixon, of course, known more for his speed than he is for his aggressiveness on the running plays.
2nd down and 2. He's all the way to the 42-yard line, and Tony Dorsett having a big first half.
Cleveland Browns, I think, expecting a pass on a throwaway down, and they get crossed up right here. Dorsett gets outside of the defense, and a couple of defenders already had dropped back deep. Clinton Burrell coming over to finally make the stop. You see how quickly Dorsett is outside of the defense here. Tony Hill, number 80, doing a good job of blocking out there. But Dorsett is really showing his stuff and showing no ill effects from that knee injury.
Averaging nearly 10 yards a carry, Merlin.
That's sore toe, excuse me.
5 rushes, almost 50 yards. This is Springs, 40. Fumbles, and Cleveland recovers at the 34-yard line. Some vicious tackling, and number 49, Clinton Burrell, up with a loose ball. As Springs took some mean hits.
Right there, a great stop. Burrell, number 49, just talked about him on the other side. Watch the play here as he's going to come down to the inside. He'll cut back, and just as he gets to the inside, it's right there. A full-speed hit by number 49, Clinton Burrell, stripped the ball away.
Timeout. Cleveland's ball, 3:43 left in the first quarter. Much of a hole. He saw White take a little stutter step looking for daylight. There was none, so he continued his course straight ahead for a couple. Don Smirrick, number 60, Hegman, 58, made the tackle.
John Dutton injured a shoulder last week. Smirik in there getting a chance to play as he did during that last game. He's a giant. Must be a tough man. Last year not only went through a knee injury, but was shot outside of a Dallas Disco here and recovered from both those injuries to make his way back onto the lineup of the Dallas Cowboys.
Bullet went right through his chest, so you talk about Thanksgiving and things to be happy and joyful about. Smirik just lucky to be alive in there contributing in that defensive line.
Shotgun again.
3rd and 3. Complete to Dino Hall, and the little running back goes out of bounds at the Dallas 35 with a first down. So the Browns adopting the shotgun formation, and for Sipe it works to Dino Hall.
Sipe, I'm sure, relishing the fact that the shotgun traditionally gives you a little more time. Stunt there on the right side of the defensive line for the Cowboys, trying to take advantage of that injury over there to Doug Deacon. But Sipe, with plenty of time to throw the football, gets it comfortably into the hands of Dino Hall.
2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. It's scoreless. Cleveland with its deepest drive against Dallas. Again, first down pass play and good protection. And going long to Logan. Intercepted. Everson Walls has it again. What a player he is.
Sipe, with time to throw that football, actually missed through it. Threw it to the right-hand side of the receiver. Logan was breaking for the sideline. May have broken off the pattern, but you see the ball thrown here. Watch Logan turn back to the inside, but it's the defender who then has the advantage. Walls going up, taking the ball over his inside shoulder.
Everson Walls, his second interception this year, had 11 last year to lead the National Football League as a free agent rookie. What a story his is.
A happy young man.
From the 4-yard line, still no score, 2:02 left in the quarter. Dorsett buys 3, 2nd and 7 for Dallas. Back to Everson Walls. It is such a, for the underdog, the long shot. Everson Walls was not drafted. He went to Grambling. He's a Dallas native. He grew up 2 miles from the Dallas Cowboy training camp. Mel Renfro was his hero. He makes the club last year and goes on to lead the NFL in interceptions with 11. And he has 2 already this year. He had 3 in the preseason. He's a real commodity. Play action. White from his end zone. That could be intercepted. But Cosby catches it for Dallas. Oh, my.
Curtis Weathers, number 55, on a hard blitz from the outside, right over the top of Danny White. See Chip Banks coming from the other side. They had the blitz coming both ways. Weathers, the man that hit him just as he is about to throw that football. The ball just flutters out and was up there for grabs. But it was Cosby, number 84, the big 6'6" tight end, that said, no, that's my football. He goes up and takes it away from Lawrence Johnson. What a play.
Almost fair catch, that pass. Set a 2-point for Cleveland. Dallas maintains the ball on a first down. Dorsett, the first time today, stopped without a gain as Chip Banks and Marshall Harris were there to make the stop at the Dallas. Let's see where they mark the ball. At the 18-yard line, it'll be a loss of a yard.
Nobody beats Cleveland. Well, Cowboys would like a shot at that. Browns have had a fine season this year. Great preseason, and of course, except for that loss in the last minutes against Philadelphia, a perfect season thus far.
And so the first quarter comes to an end here at Irving Stadium. Tom Landry and Sam Ratigliano, each coach looking for something on the scoreboard. The Browns have driven twice to no score and are once, and Dallas has just intercepted Cleveland's best chance at a scoring opportunity.
For you Pitt Panthers when you come to the Cotton Bowl.
This is Danny White.
In Irving, Texas, no score. Dallas with the football. 2nd and 11 at its 18-yard line. Dorsett, and he is hit immediately at the 12-yard line by Tom Cousineau. Oh, he came in like a shot.
One of the gifts that Cousineau has is the ability to read plays quickly. And on that particular play, he read the draw almost instantly. Watch how quickly he's into that defense or that offensive backfield right there. He got a hold of Dorsett before he had a chance to take more than 2 steps.
With 4.65 speed and 225 pounds, a lot of lateral mobility. He's likened to Randy Gradishar, another Ohio State linebacker who was starred with the Denver Broncos. Third down, 16. I thought I heard a whistle, and it was not a very solid one, and White finally said, well, is it or isn't it? And they may have extended beyond the 30-second time allotment.
One of the frustrations that Coach Landry has is when he gets the team at one end or the other of the field, it takes longer to get those plays in with the messenger system. But he just doesn't trust the signals. They were signaled for a while last year. He felt it got them in trouble. In fact, it was Coach Makovic on his left.
Ball start, 67 offense.
Who was signaling in the plays last year. Landry said, I just rather send them in with the messenger. We're more certain of them that way.
Now Pat Donovan, the all-pro left tackle, false start, the first penalty of the game. And now White needs even bigger yardage. Needs a first down out across the 29. The ball's at the 7-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Almost tackled for a safety, you'll recall, in a similar play situation. Here's a screen to Springs. 15. And down he goes. Number 99, Keith Baldwin, and another rookie, Mike Robinson, 92, made the tackle. So the Cowboys have to give up the ball, and Cleveland should get good field position early here in this second quarter.
Defensive coordinator Marty Schottenheimer talks to his troops constantly about swarming defense. If you're anywhere on the field, you're expected to be going for that football, and you saw it right there. They really got on top of that screen and shut it down.
Walker, the rookie, back at the 45-yard line as Danny White will receive the ball right on the goal line. Good driving boot. Walker at the 41, 45, and toppled at the 47. Walker at Nichols State in Louisiana averaged 13.5 yards every time he touched the ball in his brilliant 4 years. Good 44-yard punt by Danny White. We still are looking for our first score. The 47-yard line. Doug Deacon, with that injured right hand, is out of the lineup, and number 71, Matt Miller, has replaced him at left tackle. Miller from the University of Colorado. First down. Stipe has thrown on first down every play in this game. Swings it to Mike Pruitt, and the big fullback earns about 3 yards, crosses midfield, and surrounded by Cowboys, Hegman and Walls.
One of the reasons that Coach Retigliano did not want to have to go to that replacement on the left tackle is that putting a young man like Matt Miller into the game in place of that veteran, Doug Deacon, you almost have to put someone in to help him. Now watch number 82, Ozzie Newsome. Newsome stays. They're stunning on the inside line to try and take advantage of the inexperience of number 71, Millen. Newsome, the man who helps to pick up Randy White.
Second down. Logan in motion. 6 for a first down. Charlie White runs into his own man, Miller, and down he goes at the 45-yard line. Not Miller's fault. The defensive force pushed White back inside, and Miller trying to help him out. Knocked him down, a -6.
Watch right now, you'll see the young rookie here, that Miller, young player. He's going to go to the outside. It's a little screen pass outside. He thinks he's going to get in there and help. He's going outside with Harvey Martin. Ends up knocking, that's concentration, ends up knocking Charlie White right off the ground.
White saying, hey, it's tough enough against those 11 white shirts. I don't need a man 270 pounds on my own team to hit me.
I wonder who they give the credit for the tackle to.
Third down and 12 out of the shotgun. Sipe. Deep down the middle. Feature can't handle it. It's at the 40-yard line. Dennis Thurman, number 32, made the defensive play.
Dennis Thurman, the leader of that defensive secondary. He's the man that brings the signals in. 83, Ricky Feature has really come into his zone with the retirement of Reggie Rucker. Everson Walls, number 24, the man behind him, but it's Thurman who read the play from the inside, came across to strip the ball away.
Another former Southern California Trojan, and we wish Johnny Robinson well in his new pursuits academically at Southern California. His last game coaching the Trojans on Saturday. Cox's kick to Fellows. Oh, he's a gambler, and down he goes at about the 17-yard line. On all 3 punt returns, Fellows has been surrounded by Browns. He doesn't fair catch. 40-yard punt. No score here in Irving, Texas. 12 minutes left, first half. A missed 32-yard field goal. Lost it again in Cleveland's end of the field on a fumble. Cleveland wants in Dallas territory. Interception by Everson Walls. They start at the 17. White to Dorsett. And a good defensive play by number 56 of the Cleveland Browns, Chip Banks. He forced Dorsett to go wider than he wanted to, and then Lawrence Johnson, 48, came up to make the tackle.
Dick, we're seeing, again, a low-scoring game in the early going here. It has to reflect the fact that defenses are traditionally ahead of offenses when you've had a layoff, whether it's at the beginning of training camp or even after a short time off. And of course, we had a long time off during the strike. It's easier to get back and play defense than it is to get the coordination and the timing of offensive patterns.
That was reflected in the first game today. Neither team scored an offensive touchdown. 2 field goals aside. Lawrence Taylor's long interception return, the only touchdown of the day. Dorsett, 20. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A good gain by Dorsett, short of the first down by a couple. It'll be third down.
One of the things that Tom Landry does so well on offense is to employ multiple tight ends. Billy Joe Dupree, number 89, right there, blocking on Mike Robinson, number 92, hits him high and then takes his legs out from underneath him, opens the way for Tony Dorsett to make an excellent gain. And the Cowboys look very explosive. One of the things that I was impressed with watching them practice is what good shape they came back in. You don't see any extra poundage on that Dallas sideline.
Third down, yard and a half. Nothing there except brown jerseyed Cleveland players led by Dick Ambrose from the University of Virginia and Marshall Harris from Texas Christian. So the Cowboys stopped on third down.
One of the interesting innovations of recent years, the blocking by the tight end coming to the inside. Now watch Doug Cosby, number 84. He's going to come inside almost like a pulling guard. He's going to trap to the inside. Great play here by Banks and Ambrose, 56 and 52. They just sat him down.
Danny White delivers another solid kick. Dwight Walker, the rookie, gets a good block, fumbles the ball, gets another block. 35 and to the 37. Walker was lucky. An outstanding block kept that from being a Dallas fumble recovery. A 44-yard punt, 7-yard return. We have a penalty against Dallas. An eligible man downfield. You saw White, as he often will do, take a couple of extra steps under no rush. And in the meantime, one of the Dallas linemen apparently released.
Number 57 on the kicking team, downfield, illegally, penalty refused.
Angelo King, number 57, the man who got out a little early, but hard to blame him when White takes a couple of extra steps.
And the Browns will decline the penalty and take the football at their own 37-yard line. 11-10 remaining in the first half. Still a whitewash. It's been a long time away, so Schottenheimer, even when the play is on, is almost evangelistic in his teaching. He's taking them into the classroom on the sideline.
He's a fine coach.
First down, Browns, scoreless. 11 minutes left, first half. Ball, Cleveland 37. Good. And one thing that Cleveland has not been able to do in this first half is run against the Dallas defense. And the Browns are, in this 1982 year, restructuring, trying to run more than pass, but have not been able to move it on the ground.
Bob Bruning, number 53, reacting quickly, but it was Randy White, number 54, at the bottom of that stack. And Randy, you'd like to run at him to immobilize him. He's so effective in pursuit. He was not moved out of there at all on that particular play.
All pro, the last 4 years, Randy White. The player's term is quite a load at 261. 2nd and 9. Cleveland has only 9 yards rushing. Sight to Charles White, breaking a couple of tackles, and he's to the 49-yard line. A flag is down, however. We'll see if that first down will count. An 11-yard play, most of it on the running of Charles White. But illegal motion against Cleveland will call it back.
That play would be nullified. Indication of the value of a versatile back like Charlie White, who can step in there for you, run the football, and also take an opportunity to get out, catch a pass, or also to block. Does it all. Does it well.
Illegal motion, number 82 offense. Still 2nd down.
It's Ozzie Newsome right there. The man that was off a little bit early. Unfortunately, nullified the play.
So it's 2nd and 14 at the Cleveland 32. Sight working from the shotgun and cupping his hands to his mouth and shouting out an audible. Sight incomplete. Don Smirek was putting pressure on the quarterback and Pruitt unable to handle the low pass just as well as he was being wrapped up by rookie Monty Hunter, number 34. Big Game Hunter, his nickname, from Salem, West Virginia, a school of about 1,000 enrollment.
Smirek knows he's going to be working one-on-one on Joe DeLamielleure, right guard of the Cleveland Browns, because they're having to give help to the other side. Tom DeLeon has to get over there early. Puts a lot of pressure on DeLamielleure.
And Tom DeLeon with that shotgun, and he hasn't had a lot of work with it in game conditions with that blind snap to Sight, and so a lot of pressure on the center of the Browns. Done a good job. So Newsome intercepted. Mike Downs, 35-30, and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So Sight has been picked off for the 2nd time. Walls has one, and Downs, also a free agent rookie last year. He has his first of the season.
Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver. Newsome shaking his head on the sideline. There he comes right now. Let's follow him all the way across. Downs bumping him. Get a couple of illegal shots. He's only allowed 1 hit, but the ball underthrown. Newsome felt that if it had come in high enough, he could have had it. But great pickoff. Let's watch Sight now. Sight has time to throw the football. Simply did not get it high enough. Did not perhaps read the closing downs. They're lucky to get him out of bounds there. Dallas has a shot at it.
No score, 10 minutes left in the half. Hill in motion. Fake to Dorsett. White. Cosby, fumble. Or is it incomplete? Nope, they called it an incomplete pass as Cosby was drilled by Clinton Burrell, number 49.
Burrell taking a good shot. Cosby, number 84. You see him numbered both on the pants and the shirt. He'll catch it going back the other way, just looking for an open spot. But it's Burrell that actually the ball went right through Cosby's hands. Burrell didn't shake it loose. Might have done had Cosby caught that football.
Merlin, I'm impressed. And one of the thoughts after the long layoff that the defensive players might ease up a bit. The Browns are really hitting ferocious defensive charges today. White now 4 for 8. Looks at 2nd and 10. Dorsett, 15, and bumped out at the 12. Just shy of a first down.
Again, the Dallas Cowboys taking advantage of the fact that Cleveland had set themselves for a pass play, and it's Dorsett's great acceleration that allows him to get outside, take advantage of those deep drops by corners and safeties. It gives him room in the secondary.
And Merlin, look who's into that offensive line for Dallas. Number 68, the All-Pro guard, Herb Scott, who was injured back early in the year, and the layoff helped him to mend, and of course a valuable property at guard.
He did not expect to be in this game today. Expected Howard Richards to go all the way, but said if I need to, I can play. I'm ready to go.
Scott at left guard. 3rd down and 1. And Dorsett has the first down. It'll be first and goal for the Cowboys, although they're scrambling as if there was a fumble.
I think they're just fighting for that extra half a yard down there.
Well, the Cowboys have a first down right at the 10-yard line. They have the full 10-yard distance to go.
There's Herb Scott. You might see a little extra poundage having come off a knee injury. Did not allow him to work out for quite a long period of time. But he always carries his weight in that fashion. He's not one of the more physical appearing Cowboys.
And all those baritones do, and he's a lead baritone in his choir. His hobby is gospel singing. Dorsett, big hole up the middle, and he has 6 yards. Cleveland not looking for the run on first down, and Dorsett right behind the blocks of center Tom Rafferty and the guards Scott and Peterson.
Jim Cooper, number 61, also doing a good job. A quick look inside. 64, Rafferty, a converted guard, getting his man off with an influence block. And there's the second block right there. Good job inside, and well, Dorsett doesn't need much room anyway. Watch how quickly he cuts back into the hole here. Sees the opening inside and just keeps his shoulders square. Goes for everything he can pick up.
Drew Pearson hustling to the other side of the field to the left. Now he goes off the field. Wide open, Billy Joe Dupree. And Danny White alertly got Drew Pearson off the field. He was the 12th man. He got off in time, and Dupree has the touchdown.
Looked like a motion play to get him off the field. I'm sure confusing. He's trying to get off the field ahead of time here, realizing finally what White wanted him to do. Gets all the way off the field so they don't get penalized. Interesting play. Not a very happy play for the Cleveland Browns.
Step the ends, try for point. Glenn Carano holding. And the Cowboys have the first touchdown scored against the Browns in the first half this year.
Play action pass. Danny White giving it a little fake there. That's Cosby actually bumping into him on the other side. And 2 tight ends in the game, and Dupree wide open as he heads into the corner of the end zone.
So after the interception by Downs, 5 plays, 20 yards, 7 points.
Conclusion right there. The 2 of them slamming together. White able to maintain his composure and come outside and throw an easy touchdown pass to Billy Joe Dupree.
So 7-0, the Dallas Cowboys lead with 8:36 left in the first half. Step the end to kick it off. Dino Hall and Dwight Walker are deep for the Browns. Dino Hall at the 7. And the little guy is out to the 30 from Glassboro State. He was an outstanding baseball player. He's only 5'7", 165 pounds. Let's pause briefly for station identification. Happy Thanksgiving on this, the NBC Television Network.
This is KYW-TV3 in Philadelphia.
Cleveland Browns trailing 7-0 here against the Dallas Cowboys. And Doug Deacon is back in the lineup for Cleveland at that left tackle spot. 29-yard line. Cleveland puts it in play. Sight to Charles White. Short yardage to the 33. Covered by Anthony Dickerson. He's not related, at least we asked him yesterday, to the Eric Dickerson, who's the All-American running back with SMU, even though both of them SMU men. Second down, 6. Yard line. Ed Too Tall Jones at 6'9" made the tackle for the Cowboys. You know, Jones and Martin, who used to line up, Jones used to line up left-handed and Martin right-handed. They've been asked to shift that stance by Tom Landry. Do you think that really makes a difference?
Well, certainly it gives you some advantages, but moving your stance, I have never really understood the philosophy of the Dallas defense in putting the tackles in a 4-point stance and forcing you to either play in a right-handed or a left-handed stance. I think doing something like that that's unnatural takes away from the playing ability of the defensive lineman.
3rd and 3. And it's Pruitt. Oh, he bulls for what might be a first down, as Randy White had him at about the 36, and Pruitt, who carries 225 pounds, it appeared on second effort he has the first down just shy of the 40. It is a first down.
Chance to look at Randy White right here in the middle of your screen, number 54. Randy, of course, driving to the outside, just bounces off of Jackson's block, gets off a second block. That's DeLeon trying to get him on the second side, but that's brilliant second effort by Mike Pruitt, particularly on a worried about his hamstring. He had problems with it, but he's doing a good job in there today.
So on first down, good play action. And is it a good catch? Yes, Charles White with a diving catch on the sidelines. Anthony Dickerson, the defender. The fans thought that White was out of bounds.
Usually when you get a defender right on top of a receiver, and there's a question as to whether he was driven out or if he would have landed inbounds, the benefit will go to the receiver. That's a finely thrown pass. Good job, and you'll see contact, bodily contact inbounds. The official right on top of that one.
That's a spectacular play for just a 3-yard gain, as White able to wrap it up. 2nd and 7. By Brunig at the 50-yard line. It went right through the hands of the intended receiver, and Brunig said, "What's this? A little present." That's the 3rd interception by the Cowboys.
Bryant, the Cleveland Browns trying to throw some quick passes in there to take the pressure off the offensive line. And Brian Sipe has his 3rd interception of the day, and he said, "Why in the world didn't you throw it in the right place?"
Behind Mike Pruitt, and Bob Brunig with one of his rare interceptions. So the Cowboys have the ball again, leading 7-0. Dallas Cowboys, the leaders in the NFL last year with 37 interceptions, have 3 in this first half today and own the ball at the Cleveland 49, leading 7-0. Bob Brunig's 8th interception in his 8 years with Dallas. White, man open, but he overshoots Tony Hill, number 49, on the play for Cleveland. Clinton Burrell tackling Hill and drawing some disapproval from the Dallas fans.
We talk about the importance of pass protection. Danny White's protection in part is based on the play of Tom Rafferty, number 64 at center. Watch Rafferty here as he locks up with Henry Marshall, or with Henry Bradley on the inside. Does a good job of keeping him away from the quarterback.
Dorsett, the only man behind White. Looking for Pearson. Good pump fake, and Pearson is all alone. Down at the 1-yard line, actually the 1-foot line, and Pearson wanted that touchdown so badly.
Very simple. You give a quarterback like Danny White that much time to throw the football, he's going to find one of those talented receivers in the open. Drew Pearson has really become a control receiver for the Cowboys, but he gets the big play here as White looks off to his left, goes back over to the right-hand side, throws the bomb to number 88.
Just missed the touchdown, and it was debatable as to whether or not Pearson was across that final line. So 1st and goal on the 1-foot line for the Cowboys. Dorsett, touchdown. Tom Landry sees the scoreboard light up 13. as Dallas has
Violent collisions in the middle of the line. Linebackers coming over the top. Ambrose, Johnson trying to get a piece of Dorsett. Dorsett actually knocked back, but he was over the goal line.
Septien's kick is through. And with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half, Dallas has opened a 2-touchdown lead. Their drives have been short from the 20-yard line after the interception by Downs. And now Brunig's interception, 49 yards. Took them only a couple of plays. And they now lead 14-0. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, we invite you to stay with us on NBC Sports for an exciting weekend of coverage on Saturday. NBC Sports World keeps you in the holiday spirit with the beauty and the grace of world professional figure skating. Former Olympic greats, gold medalist Dorothy Hamill, Janet Lynn, a bronze medalist, gold medalist Robin Cousins, the Protopopovs from Russia. They'll be featured in an encore performance from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. It's an event the whole family will enjoy. This Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC Sports World. And then on Sunday, we've got a big doubleheader of football on NBC. We'll be talking about that later. Dwight Walker at the 7, 15, 20, 30, and out to the 33-yard line. And you can see why Walker was so highly regarded by the scouts of the Cleveland Browns. He almost turned that one loose for a long gainer, and a flag is down. Whoops. Cleveland will have it called back. Illegal use of the hands.
That's a shame, because that's the kind of aggressive running and the kind of big play that Sam Rutigliano's Browns need to get back into this game. Dick Brian Sipes said last week after the game, he said, I'd have booed myself in the first half. I'm afraid the same is true today.
Number 51 on the kicking team, illegal pushing it back.
Eddie Johnson, number 51, the guilty party on the illegal block, but Sipes has got to get going. Had a much better second half, and well, the Browns better hope that he can do the same here today.
Well, he's had that cardiac kid kind of leadership with the Browns coming from behind in his career. We'll have to do it again today. Just a yard gain for Mike Pruitt. While we have a moment, Sam Rutigliano's daughter Carrie is in a Cleveland hospital, and we want to wish her well, and that gives us an opportunity to say hello and wish all of our friends who are hospitalized or indisposed on this day, wish them a speedy recovery and in their own way a happy Thanksgiving. Second down and 9. Sipes in trouble, and down he goes at the 8-yard line. Too tall Jones.
Get right into Brian Sipes' shoes there. He drops back. Number 72, Ed Too Tall Jones, using that tremendous height advantage to reach out and strip the legs out from underneath Brian Sipes.
Look at the numbers, 6'9", 272, and Jones finally last year living up to all his potential, named to the Pro Bowl. Still credit his professional boxing career, however short-lived, in 1979, as helping him with his quickness, his agility in playing this game. From his own end zone, Sipes, 3rd and long. Complete to Charles White, and he's to the 25, short of a first down. Anthony Dickerson saved the first down. His speed as a linebacker, able to get to White. Sipes throwing under pressure.
There's a stunt going on the inside here. Now watch Harvey Martin. He's going to drive to the inside, and they're going to run a stunt behind him. Number 54 or number 54, White, coming out to the outside. He'll come in scot-free to unload on Brian Sipes. Sipes still able to get that football off and into the hands of Charlie White.
That's a great camera angle to appreciate how tough it is for that quarterback, and what a perfect throw by Sipes under the worst possible duress. Cox hits Honey. Bellows, that is 27. 35, may have fumbled. It's at the 40, and will this be the break the Browns are looking for with 3 minutes left in the half?
Cowboys have had their turnovers early. The Browns would love to get one of their own just before the half.
No signal yet. as they're fighting under that pile for possession.
You don't come out there. You come out of there reluctantly if you've got a hand on that football, Dick.
And it's going to come down to the final wrestle. It's Dallas with the ball.
It appeared that Fellows really banged into one of his teammates. That may have precipitated the fumble. Watch him here. Number 27 breaking up inside. Bangs right into the back of one of his own players there. Drops that football on the ground. And I bet it was Fellows who recovered it underneath that stack.
So Dallas has the football just inside its 40-yard line with 3 minutes plus remaining in the half, and the Cowboys with a 14-0 lead. A dominated play. Dorsett is winged way out on the right. Run springs 40. Following his blockers well near a first down at the 49. Ambrose finally tracked him down with help from Henry Bradley, number 91.
Springs, of course, does double duty. Very often required to do the blocking for Tony Dorsett. On that particular play, given a chance to show us his running skills.
Well, we talked about Saturday figure skating, and then on Sunday, doubleheader here on NBC. Those are the early games. The Raiders in Cincinnati will be seen by most of you around the country. And then the second half of the doubleheader, most of it Western action. Prime game, Denver at San Diego, Kansas City, LA, Pittsburgh, Seattle. So Sunday, an NFL twin bill here on NBC. Dorsett, first down and more to the 45 of Cleveland. And Dorsett, who does not have a 100-yard day in the first 3 games of this year, working on a 100-yard half.
We've mentioned the fact that Springs normally handles the blocking assignments, and you see him right there throwing the block on the outside on Hanford Dixon, number 29, to Spring Dorsett for the first down.
Say Dorsett just 21 yards away from the century mark. First down, Cowboys, Cleveland 44. Heisman Award winner and a brilliant player in the NFL, Dorsett. Pass Dorsett. 40, 30 out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Dorsett. Oh, beautiful timing on that play from White to his running back. Led him with a pass.
Tom Cousineau coming hard from the inside. Looked like he had a shot at Dorsett, but Doug Cosby is going to pick him off. Let's see if we can pick it up. This is just a long handoff to Dorsett. Streaking to the outside. Here it comes now. Watch the block right there. You see that block? Bang, and he's got him.
Meanwhile, Chip Banks with an acrobatic attempt to try to block the pass, and he too was blocked well as Dorsett gained 16 yards. At the right time. So everything breaking right for the Dallas Cowboys. The loose balls bouncing in the direction of the white shirts when it appeared that Sam Rutigliano's Browns almost to that ball out in the open, the kind you can pick up and run for a score.
White is going to get hit from the blind side. It's the cornerback Hanford Dixon that strips that ball away. A chance to be recovered there, but the ball was bouncing and the Cowboys get it back. Rafferty, quickly on top of it for the Cowboys.
2-minute timeout.
Do you wonder why this game has favored the Cowboys? Look at what they've been able to do with the strength of Tony Dorsett's rushing. 114 to 17 yards in the first half.
And the Cowboys with a 2-touchdown lead, but they have needed 2 pass interceptions, both coming in Cleveland territory. White on 2nd down and 20. In traffic and is sacked at the 46-yard line as number 92, Mike Robinson from the University of Arizona, 4th-round pick last year, made the play. He's a native of Cleveland.
He's the man that really allowed the Browns to trade off Lyle Alzado. They wanted him to get into the lineup. He's responded with some outstanding play. Coach Rutigliano feels that he's one of the most valuable additions to that Cleveland defense.
Clock is running. 1:40, 1:39 left. first half. Dallas will take its time with 3rd down and long. Drew Pearson wide left. Cosby left. Hill right. Out of the shotgun. Deep down the middle to Pearson, and he has it at the 24. That'll be short of a first down. Clarence Scott made the tackle, and on 4th down, here's Raphael Septien will come in for a field goal try.
Drew Pearson isolated on the far side, just drives to the inside. This is the kind of pattern that Danny White likes. He puts it on the money. They try to shake it loose, but the veteran hangs on, pulls it down. Cleveland calling timeout here, wanting to preserve as much on the clock as they can. Certainly looking probably at trying to block this field goal to begin with.
Another fine story is Pearson, who was a free agent pick. Pearson was a quarterback in high school in New Jersey. Joe Theismann was the quarterback before him at that same high school. And Theismann now with the Redskins at 3-0. Pearson went to Tulsa, made him into a receiver, drafted as a free agent, and all he is now is the all-time Dallas #1 receiver with 429 receptions. 22 yards on that last play that gives Septien more room for the field goal.
Talking about Pearson, I have to tell you that having played against him a number of times, I watched him catch some passes that I did not ever believe he would get his hands on, and felt the pain of that inside of me. He always played extremely well against us and has had a tremendous career here in Dallas.
And another good statistic for men who have thrown the ball more than twice in the NFL. He has the best completion percentage. He is 5 for 5 and 3 touchdowns.
That's not a bad average.
Septien, it'll be a 41-yard attempt. He missed one earlier from 32. Not this time. Right down the middle. And Dallas now leads by 17.
Tom Landry, of course, prepares his team thoroughly. They're a highly disciplined team, a veteran team, and they figured to come back out of this strike delay probably with greater ease than perhaps any other team in the NFL. They've also been favored by the schedule. 2 home games, and then a 10-day layoff. A 10-day layoff. He'll use it as a mini-camp to get his troops ready.
Now, Septien, that's officially a 40-yard field goal. He has that McCaw that he calls after his own initials. JR, not for the Dallas character, but for Jose Raphael as in Septien. He said, how's the McCaw doing in a year? Learned any more new words? He says, no. He says, all it can say is hello, and it's learned how to bark. He says, I've got 4 dogs. He said, I've got a dumb McCaw and 4 dogs. Here comes Walker, the rookie at the 20. Well, you can slow down and pick your spots maybe in college, but you can't give up that much time against a good Dallas rush. So Cleveland trailing, and you see Len Berman, Mike Adamle getting ready for NFL 82. They'll have highlights of the first game, and we're talking about the first 30 minutes of this one at halftime. And congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Len Berman on the arrival of their 3rd child, daughter, in the last couple of weeks. A couple of sons, that does make this Thanksgiving special. Cleveland with 49 seconds left in the half and trailing by 17, and Sipe out of the shotgun, so they're going to go for it. That's Dino Hall to the 34-yard line, and the clock is running.
Matt Miller again in the game. It would appear that Doug Deacon is only able to tolerate the use of that hand, limited amounts of time. He's alternating series with the youngster.
Sipe incomplete to Hall, who was open at the 45-yard line. That stops the clock with 24 seconds. The Browns have 2 timeouts remaining in this half.
One of the interesting questions to ask, if Brian Sipe does not get things going any better, will we see Paul McDonald? Sam Artigliano quoted many times early in this season as saying he felt that he had 2 starting quarterbacks. McDonald has sat by quietly waiting his turn. It may be coming up.
Sipe, who came into this game hitting on only 45.8% of his passes. That's way below, 10% below what he wants. He's 11 for 18 today, but 3 interceptions. 2nd and 10. No one open, so he has to duck out of bounds at the 38-yard line and stops the clock with 16 seconds remaining. Well, that's the kind of play with that much time. You hope, if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, that someone can work open, but that Dallas defense too tough.
I think Sipe also felt the breath on the back of his neck. Don Smirek, number 60, bearing down on him as he went out of bounds.
Merlin, in your day, they started with a 5th defensive back, and because of 5 called at the nickel, and then they went to 6 a dime. Well, Dallas is using 7 defensive backs at the moment. I don't know what their terminology is, but
maybe that's a quarter.
Inflation, maybe even $1. I don't know about that.
$1 defense.
3rd down and 6 with 16 seconds. Good stop by Sipe. And Randy White throws him down at the 32. 3rd sack for the Cowboys, who had 7 coming into this game.
White again showing you why the Cleveland defensive backs. I think that's really important, is because of the expanded rosters. You can afford to keep extra people. It used to be that if you only had 38, 39, 40 players, you could not keep enough defensive backs to put 7 in the game. But of course, with a 49-man roster as we have now, you can keep a lot of specialists around.
Dallas, noting that Cleveland was just going to let that clock run out in the half, stops it with a timeout at 7 seconds just to get a chance for a return, a good return, and a quick field goal try, and they could add to their 17-0 lead.
Cox and the Cleveland punting team have had a little bit of difficulty getting the football off. Perhaps Dallas wants a chance to block this kick.
You look at those numbers above Tom Landry. Well, you don't see them now, but 007, and in some ways he's been a James Bond as he's survived a lot of travail as a head coach in the early years, and now in his 23rd season, the 3rd winningest coach in NFL history. They're going to put on a 10-man rush. And Cox gets it away. No one back for Dallas. Clock running out. That'll be the end of the first half as soon as the ball is whistled dead. And there it is. So the Dallas Cowboys, opportunistic, using 2 pass interceptions deep in Cleveland territory, and Tom Landry's team, with 2 wins and a loss, owns a sizable 17-0 lead.
No question they came back into this game with much more concentration and discipline than did the Cleveland Browns.
And, of course, the advantage of that home field. We'll check with the guys on NFL 82 right after this word.